Alright. What happened here? Ah. Well, welcome to Little Nightmares 3 demo. And I recently played the Little Nightmares. I did try the first one. And then like a week or so later, I did try the demo for Little Nightmares 2. Maybe in between I did also try Inside. That definitely was interesting. Just like, you know, Little Nightmares and both Inside are games I'm curious to do streams on later on here. Maybe during October or something like that, because then the updates to the original Little Nightmares are coming out for everyone. This game, let's see, you're probably familiar with it if you are, you know, this is the third iteration within the series, and this is supposed to be released in October of 2025, the 10th of October. There is a price, and that is the normal there, blah blah blah. Do we have any? There is just for the bundles. Well, it doesn't seem like there is a... Okay. 40 euros, I'm gonna go with that. Even though it is like a pre-order bundle thing, but you only get like much. Yeah, alright. 40 euros. It apparently does also include a deluxe version that is 60 euros. But 40 euros is the price tag for this base game, and these are, you know, shorter games. I'm not sure how long this is, but good to know. What is the description for this iteration in the series? Little Nightmares 3 is an atmospheric adventure game in which you follow the journey of Low and Alone, L-O-W, and Alone, two best friends in search of a way out of nowhere. In two players online cooperation, I don't know, or solo with an AI. Work together to solve puzzles and survive in this nightmarish world. Tags are adventure, horror, co-op, puzzle, multiplayer. I'm gonna do my best to remember to make tags so you can just jump straight into the gameplay. I'm gonna be checking out the settings for this game a little bit here, quick. So use the timestamp down below. Also, this seems to be heavily reliant on co-op play, right? I'm hoping that this both, you know, couch co-op and online, as it says here. We're gonna see how that's gonna work. I'm gonna be trying this in a solo setting here. So not sure, you know, how that's gonna be compared to the previous games. And let me close down Chrome. There we go. Alright, I highly recommend checking the settings, but again, timestamps down below if you for some reason just want the worst experience that you might be getting. Well, hopefully you get a good experience, but it's always really good. It's always really good to be... Alright, ignore that. It's something weird. I'm just noticing that when I click into this window here, just a minor thing here, and then I use... There we go. I had my mouse pointer being a little bit weird there. Alright. Yeah, I highly recommend just checking out the settings here. So, and I guess this is just for some basic text, but here you have the language available. Hopefully it is, you know, your favorite language. The game, I'm gonna guess, like the previous, I don't think there was any dialogue at all, so... Audio, here we have some good settings. Master volume. Again, I like when master starters maybe like 70 to 80%, but this is a great set, you know, music, effects volume, voice volume, friendly volume. I'm gonna guess this is maybe for online co-op. And you have different settings for this is a compressing the highs and the lows for more of like a, you know, you don't get the peaks and you don't get, you know, to crank the volume to hear some stuff and then explosion come and you're deaf. Might be good. I don't know if most of you guys are gonna be using headphones or TV speakers here. This is the default for me. TV speaker, so I'm gonna go with default. It might not be the best experience. And again, this is why it might be good to check the settings, because, you know, headphones might give you much better experience. But since I am using, you know, TCL TH35, you know, with pump with 5-inch here, TV speakers at the moment, I'm gonna go with that. If I'm gonna stream this, I probably might, you know, want to have my headphones on for just better immersion and, you know, really picking out details. Video settings. Selecting your display, nice touch, window mode, full screen, and windowed full screen. So I'm gonna guess and hope that this is exclusive full screen. Just like in previous game here, 16:9. It does seem like, you know, you can select super ultra widescreen resolution, but black bars and stuff. So 16:9 resolution up to like 4K. You have support for DLSS, FSR, XeSS, FXAA, and TAAA. And you also have some DLSS frame generation here. I'm gonna guess that this is a bit weird that DLSS and DLSS frame generation aren't like in a way separate options thing here. That they are like, it's hard to tell. I'm guessing this only activates 2 times frame generations at the same time as you get DLSS upscaling, but it's a little bit of a weird. We're just gonna go with DLSS. You don't have the normal, like, I'm gonna guess this affects DLSS. Hopefully, I don't know. This is a little bit weird. Because normally, you know, you have your ultra performance, balanced, quality. You have DLAA. Is there an ultra quality? I don't know. But hopefully this is just gonna be like ultra. DLSS quality is ultra, something like that. VSync on off, nice frame rate limit, and you can go all the way up to 244, 144, 120. It would be nice with a custom limiter here, but it seems to be, you know, most of the basic popular ones are available here. Bit weird that it's 244 limit and not 240. I think, isn't the 240 more common than 244? I feel that that is the case, but right, maybe that's just a typo. But again, weird. But hey, you can obviously turn it off, frame rate limit off, and then, you know, it's fine. You won't get you know, use external frame rate limiter. I'm just gonna go with this to see it should match. You know, frame rate limit when you have VSync on shouldn't really be activated. So quality. This is like overall quality settings, you know, low settings. Nice that you have some kind of visual thing to see what's going on here. All the way up to ultra. You're gonna go with ultra. It doesn't seem like you can really turn off bloom unless low is turning it off. I don't know. I might turn this one down when we are in game, but we start with this one. Shadows, textures, post-processing. Won't tell any difference with this in this 3D graphics. That's unfortunate. I might also try turning this one down to low when we are in game. It would be nice to have an off settings. Ray tracing with this is quite interesting. Okay, it does make a difference. A little bit hard to tell exactly what's happening here with the ray tracing. I don't know if it's going, you know, if this is Unreal Engine 5, this might just be the software Lumen. We don't know. We're gonna keep everything at ultra to start off with. HUD and menus. Alright. Dyslexia font. Okay, nice. Size of the menu text, menu color. That's nice. I wouldn't recommend chat. I wanted, you know, this one looks nicer, menu text color black for me, but there are some menus that gets a bit wonky if you turn this one to black, so, but It's a nice touch. Menu background. Alright. Alright, that's nice. Nice little touch. Text size color, tutorial color, tutorial background alpha, tutorial background colors. Yeah. Right. Let's go with the default, but nice little settings there. It's unfortunate that every time I go back, it defaults to the top settings here, the language menu. Annoying, but not a big deal. Brightness slider, your normal little thing. Right, this I'm gonna leave this as default, but for my screen, I can actually turn this down quite a bit. This is a bright room, but I can still turn this down to 37 here. I can just barely see the eye. But we're gonna just go with the default, which is quite pretty visible here. But, you know, since I'm recording here, this should probably fit most of the displays better here. But I can turn this quite down a bit there. And if you have an OLED, you might even be able to turn this one down quite a bit. So again, that's why, you know, nice to check settings out, that you have everything optimized. I think this pops up in a, you know, the first time you might launch the demo. So nice. Control vibration. This is a really nice touch. You can, at least to my we might, if I remember, test this when we get into the game maybe. But you should be able to force, if you want it to be, you know, keyboard only displays, even if you're using, like, you know, a gamepad. I might try to see if we have mixed input support, just for the giggles of it. But this is a nice touch that you can just, you know, default is automatic, but you can force what you want to have for a button layout. Treat hold action as toggles, inverting vertical and that, nice touch. And you can remap here, and this is a nice touch. You can remap, go blah 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 blah. I don't know if the right stick is right stick click, since it has an extra option, equip an umbrella. Otherwise, I'm curious if I could remap, you know, to my back buttons, but right. This is definitely interesting. What we could try is this one. Okay, I can set this one to be the back button. But it does seem like, you see, you get this exclamation mark. It looks like this is conflicting with something else. So, equip umbrella. Yeah, that is right stick click. Move left stick. I can't see that there's any conflicting here, but it does look like there is a conflicting thing when we do this. Right? Which is interesting. So if we do this, alright, let's go with default, but hey, you have full controller remapping what this looks like. Mostly this is awesome. And, you know, we have keyboard mapping. The old traditional with mouse support, it looks, keyboard and mouse. So that's nice. Alright. So far, this has been amazing settings wise. Display tutorials, colorblind mode, character off screen, camera shakes. I turn this one off. I'm not a fan of lots of shaky flashiness. Right. Nice little extra settings for that. Alright, that's it. Let's go into the game. Single player or multiplayer, but what happens if you do that? Oh. I just wanted to see. Okay, no. Okay, so you can only... what I wanted to see here was if there was like an online lobby thing, but no, it just... You can only invite friends in your... You know, your friend list. You know, you can't just play with a random person, which could be nice, you know, play with a random. Also could be terrifying because they could just be out to, you know, do weird stuff. Alright, but that's how it works. New game. Alright. And you have different save slots, which is really great. Extra little touch. You can, since this is made for, very co-op focused here, right? You can choose your character. Let's just go with the default here. And let's see how the starting here of this demo is gonna be. If the audio levels is good, if the performance seems alright with ray tracing and everything. I'm gonna be running this on RTX 5070 graphics card. And my CPU is a Ryzen 9600X. I am using the kind of PBO things that makes the CPU, pushes a little bit higher than might be normal for default configuration. And I'm gonna pair this with 32 gigabytes of DDR6000 memory speed, DDR5 6000 memory speed. And we are gonna run this in 120 Hz mode of my monitor. Alright, very, yes, as normal. Doesn't tell you a lot, you're not sure what's happening. You're looking at something. Right? It seems very smooth so far. Can I do something? Yeah. Oh, this is amazing. You have both gamepad and keyboard input working absolutely perfect together. No stuttering, no delay. This should be the standard in every single game. It's an awesome start. Settings wise, it's an awesome start when it comes to just, support for gamepad and keyboard and stuff together. Alright? So I am controlling the green one here. So this game again is made for co-op in mind. So you can't you can't just be by yourself. Oop. Performance is really good so far. Like 50% GPU utilization is nothing. I'm playing this in 440p, 120 Hz, everything maxed out. DLSS though on with ultra quality settings. I could probably turn off DLSS if I want, but I like DLSS and I prefer my GPU to be a little bit more chilled, cooler. So I have no problem with that. It looks really good here, nothing weird going on. I don't need frame generation, but it's nice to see. Because if you're running this game in 4K, or if you're running this on, 5060 or something like that, or maybe the 4060, frame gen could be really helpful. And in this game, probably gonna be, not that input sensitive. System memory here is alright, nothing crazy or anything like that. 10 gigs here with OBS, Steam and the game running, so pretty low. VRAM utilization, we are at the current moment with 5 gigabytes VRAM, ray tracing and everything on. I'm gonna guess this might be, Lumen. Could be the software ray tracing, the Lumen thing. Like the style and everything so far. That looks like a weird thing there. I might turn off the bloom and not turn off, but turn down to low the bloom and depth of field. I would like to be able to have a fully off toggle. I'm not sure. You might be able to get that by tweaking the configuration file. This seems like this is an Unreal Engine 5 game. I haven't verified it, but... Or maybe this is Unreal Engine 4. I don't know if that supports ray tracing. really great performance and everything so far here on the RTX 5070. It is, I consider the RTX 5070 to be, you know, maybe high mid tier, but it's nothing extreme or anything like that. But it isn't the cheapest GPU, but it's definitely far from the expensive ones like the 5080. But I reckon this might run very good on the, you know, lower end, the 4060, 5060, the B5 Intel Arc B580. Probably, you know, you might have to do some compromise with upscaling and stuff like that, who knows. But really no stuttering so far, which is amazing. You can see in the top left the performance graph is just pretty much a rock solid green line, which indicates that there is no stutter, frame drop or weirdness going on with the frame pacing. If it was, you would see red, it dropping down to like red or other just dropping from the green steady line. Very nice ambience and everything here. This is probably a game that, you know, can be very favorable to play if you are doing it in a co-op setting, obviously. Press B to equip the wrench. Press right. Well, let me do some. Okay, good. I wanted to check this one. I want to do this. Settings. This isn't... I don't think this is going to be super necessary for this game, but I still want to try this one out. Yo. Yes. So, I'm going to be... Right. So even if I'm using the keyboard, I do get the Xbox layout, which is great. Because if you for some reason want to combine mouse, keyboard, gamepad, whatever, but you don't want the button, you know, layout on the bottom here. If you don't want that to change, you don't have to. You can force it to be what you like. This is amazing. This should be every single game. Especially since I like playing with the Steam controller here. And with like the Gamesir T4 Kaleid. And to, you sometimes just to get the most out of a game I like. Not maybe in this game, but others. I love combining like a mouse emulation on like one of the sticks, or I want to have joystick input for analog movement in an FPS or third-person game, and then I want the rest to have to be keyboard inputs for different configurations. This game just has showcased that there is no reason why that shouldn't work, and you don't have to have flickering icons from keyboard, mouse to gamepad back and forth. Just give us these basic settings. This is a huge thumbs up. Every developer need to just give this as a basic full controller remapping like this game offers so far, that it seems to be a very good way. Let us select, the different button layouts if we want it to be, PlayStation or Xbox, whatever. Let us, combine gamepad with mouse and keyboard without it having this kind of weird delay when it swaps between them. Yeah, amazing. All right. We are going to just go full on game mode, don't worry. This is just, beginning here of the game. I'm messing around, trying out. I want to see how the ray tracing affects here. Can't tell any difference here. Does have a huge impact with the bloom. We turn that and that one off. How will this look? Okay. I think I like this better with the less bloom, shininess, and the less depth of field. A pure off toggle would be nicer also. It seems like ray tracing is very effective here. Alright. Here. Oh. Yeah, it seems like ray tracing is very effective here, so I don't... do you... Oh, that's the crouch, okay. I don't think I needed to turn it off. I might try toggling ray tracing on-off in a different scene, where it might have a bigger impact. But so far it does seem like, you know, it's a minor difference for good and bad. Try to jump. Okay, I couldn't jump there. Automatic checkpoints, pretty good. Okay. Oh, okay, that's the help. I'm guessing that maybe that is more of a single player thing. Because I guess that you don't need that action if you are playing with someone online. You probably have voice chat on, so you don't need to like, hey, shoot. Maybe if you're playing that character, that you might have to shoot. I don't know if it's going to be like manual aiming or anything like that. Okay, you're probably supposed to push that one down from above, right? Right, I'm gonna do this again, just so you can see the difference. And so I can also see the difference here, yes. Yeah. I think I prefer it, at least, you know, depth of field I can see is very nice to have on, if you like that, but the blooming here makes it this kind of a little bit more of like a fuzzy thing to the lightning that I'm not a fan of. So yeah, and this is why I like, you know, that you should check out the settings so you can tweak it to your liking, but I think I like this better. And don't really fan of depth of field. I can see the artistic style, you know, style with it, but yeah, I think this looks nicer for me. Let's go up here, and we are going to be more just pure gameplay focused, you know, when we have tweaking out of the question, and performance just feels super smooth. There's no real, you know, there's just ambience. There's no music, just like in the previous game titles. I do really enjoy this artistic look so far. Yeah, okay. I was thinking you would push the barrel, but okay, you only shoot that one down. Oops, okay. Oh, doing this in 3D is... oh my god. Ah. So you kind of have to use the analog stick here. It could have been nice if you could have used the D-pad. Row... Remapping, there we go. Weird that this is a separate one. Unbound, okay, move. Maybe you can, let me check this. Right, you could... Okay, you can do that. Right, so you don't do that. Can we swap this to B? Let me try this. Aha, you can use the D-pad here. That's really nice. I don't know if it's gonna be like, you know, analog. I don't know how good this game is gonna work with the D-pad to walk. But it's a nice little touch. But let me go back to analog movement. I think for this game, me personally, I do want to use the analog to move around. But that's great. As a quality of life thing here, that's great. And mapping it to the left stick click seems to be working really well. So we're gonna try to keep that to see what's going to on here. Again, this is perfect. When it comes to input here, this is just so far perfect. B. Oh, oh, okay. I did not see that. That was interesting. Not the most obvious thing there. Okay. Okay, this is some kind of cutscene here. Okay, he needs... He, she, it, they need help here to push this. Right. I can see that this game is pushing my 9600X pretty heavy on one core at least. Not all... not all cores. Okay, so we need to move this one. So far the AI companion, you know, are working out. So I need to hold there to climb. You could change this to toggle, so that's nice settings if you don't want to hold every time you like climb or push stuff. Need like a key. Right, so we can see my GPU utilization is around 50 to 60% here. I'm gonna turn off ray tracing. I'm thinking... What did that do? Nothing? Oh, okay. It's a little bit interesting when you're trying, you know, you move in this kind of not it's not like a flat left and right horizontal. It's a little bit angled. That just kind of interesting when you're walking on these kind of passing here, the wooden thing here. Then you know you're kind of locked in a 2D way, but here when it is it's angling itself, it's shifting around the camera a little bit. If I'm going to running, it doesn't feel... It's a little bit interesting. I'm trying to like compensate, and I run a little bit weird here and there, off like the edges and stuff like that. It's got something to get used to, so... Like there, it kind of shifts the viewpoint there. But this, I can definitely see that you should probably be, you know, playing this with one of your friends for best immersion here. Okay, so I have a wrench. The other one seems to have a bow. Alright, so we can see GPU utilization is around 50%. Let's turn off ray tracing to see if we can see the difference, how it looks, and you can also see if the performance gets a lot better. Maybe you like how this game looks without ray tracing. Yeah, I can't tell a huge difference right away. Performance is it's not that big. It's a couple of percentage so far. Right, here comes my colleague, my helper, the friend. Definitely gonna keep ray tracing on here, but it's a minor thing here, and it also is a minor thing for performance. But maybe you like the artistic direction without ray tracing, you know, it's nice to be able to toggle it on off for sure. But it's also nice to see that ray tracing isn't super heavy or like... I played games previously with Lumen in Unreal Engine 5 and ray tracing, and like the shadows were kind of like flickering, like had like shimmering to it. Looks awful. The ray tracing here looks really nice. Oh, that's the key up there. Yeah, I do really like the ray tracing, you know. And a performance look of it. Are you gonna keep it with you? Yes. Let's turn on ray tracing. Again, I don't know how much. They could just be using ray tracing for lights, for shadows, for, you know, who knows what they're using this one for. Let's turn off everything just to ultra, so you know, you guys can get the ultra experience here, but the rest of the demo. Right, you do have costumes here. Well, we have the key. Right, the key will get used automatically. I like the vibe of this. Again, if you like the previous games, you know, it's a big chance that you might like this one. Ooh, something terrifying in the background. Ah, okay, so this is more of the first, more tricky puzzle, maybe? Hmm. Only look around a little bit. Oh, you can pull this one, okay. Didn't see that. Harry. Oh, umbrella! Okay. Oh, is this a floating mechanic? Press right. We get to equip umbrella. So I want to try something because I want, since I do really love their remapping feature. So I want to try something here. Yeah, let's just start very simple here. Okay, controller mapping. There we go. There we go. All right. Aha! I love this, man. They have really perfection so far when it comes to the just the pure input remapping features. That you can have the gamepad, mouse, keyboard. You can select what you want your buttons to look like with all of like the PlayStation. Okay. I feel like we're supposed to slide down. No. Oh, right. Oh, oops. Okay, there we go. Right, I did remap. Yeah, the AI, you know, friend here is so far working good for even a solo experience, but yeah, this is definitely, again, definitely really fun with the companion. To solve puzzle together, to help each other. Yeah, I felt that was a thing to teach you to synchronize. Woo. Do, 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 do. Oh. Did we make it? Nope. Alright, I guess I miss... Right, was I too slow? 1. 3. 1. Right, so the umbrella is a toggle thing. Huh. Okay, so that makes you fall... Alright. Yeah, this feels really nice. I guess this is another, like, stay out of the light thing here, maybe? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. There's a pressure switch there. Okay. Alright. Okay. Good, let's try so far. 47 minutes. It's a good chunk of the demo. You know, you get a lot of good thing to try. This might, you know, be maybe a game that is a bit longer than the previous games. I got stuck on the statue. It's, yeah, the only big, you could say, complaint is that I need to get used to the kind of view of how you press the stick to move in the correct way here. I got stuck there on, like, the statue there where I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't pressing the right angle of the stick to move in the correct way there. I'm guessing we probably might be coming up to the soon of doing the end of the demo, or, you know, it just might be that I choose to stop soon. Oh, okay, we both have had to stand on the pressure switch. Right, that got, you know, pretty loud. You could use the night mode here, you know, to make that, you know, less of a peak. And it might sound a little bit, you know, again, might not be optimized, since if you're using headphones, since I have the speaker mode on at the moment. I'm guessing this might be, you know, one of the kind of like extra little things that you can find, like the collectibles, maybe? Maybe we need to be in here? Okay. Not sure if there's any point to this room, so let's go the other way here right now. Check this one first. Right, so we do move in a little bit in like a 3D world. It looks like we might have been able to go like up or into the screen there. Interesting. Let me try that real quick here. Can we go up? No, I don't see anything here. Right. So I did read on the forums of one thing, and this is just like in Little Nightmares 2. There is some like this kind of gray tone mapping over the image, and that's, I'm gonna hope and guess that is an artistic choice. But I wish that there would be more things being anchored to true black or OLEDs and, you know, high quality mini LEDs or VA panels to really get more oomph of the contrast. Because I don't know, looking, it's hard to point out, but looking at the things in the ceiling here, some of the shadows of those could have been anchored to true black to just make things pop and give it more depth, in my opinion. But I'm guessing this is artistic choice. It's a choice I'm not fully agreeing with, that you have this kind of gray tone mapping and not all the way down to the true black. Not sure what to do in this room here. I'm guessing I have to do something to trigger my component to, or my friend here, the AI, to not get attacked. I don't know what though. I have no idea what to do right now here. Again, it is unfortunate, it's very grayish looking at overall. It is a nice art style, but this here, a little bit of a grayish tone. I wish it was more different. Like this, the edge of the screen here, I would like that to be like pitch black, and the transition layer here, the one to the left, I would like that to be pitch black. Yeah, I have no idea here. I was trying to see if I could attack that one. Because I'm not immediately seeing what I'm supposed to do here. I'm guessing this is the way to go. Could be that we're supposed to go the other way, but don't know. Right, might be that we have some action thing to do here. Yeah, okay. No? So the previous games, I've only played a little bit, but there hasn't been any combat. So I can attack the enemies. But I don't know if I should, if this is like a battle room, if I need to attack them or if we need to run. This might be where I just stop right now, because I don't, you know, might not be fun just watching me trying to figure this one out in the video here. Yeah, I don't see anything obvious. Okay. I'm pressing Y to see if I can have my component just... Okay, yeah, I see. I think this is a battle room. So when they are flying, I can press Y to make my AI friend here shoot them. And then I can attack them when they are like flipping over. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Let's give that a try. But yeah, the tone mapping here, I would definitely tone down the grayish, turn up the true black, and a little bit. It would be, you know, more my type of color choice. I want to see if it makes difference if I turn off the bloom here. And the depth of field, if that's going to have an effect here. Of the visibility. Not really. Maybe a little bit sharper looking, okay. Right. This might be wrong, it might also be right. This definitely is the thing where it's easier if you have your opponent, like friend, helping you, not an AI, and having to like press. I have to like press Y. I feel like, at least, maybe I don't have to make my AI shoot. Maybe I don't have to. Yeah, I don't know. If this is what you're supposed to do, I gotta say that this is... At least with an AI, this feels weird. Does not feel like a great experience with the AI here. If I'm doing the right thing. I might be doing completely wrong here. Yeah. Okay, I don't have to press the shoot button, that my AI shoots by itself. Okay, that's good. Yeah, a little bit weird feeling. Not the best room, I don't know. I think I prefer the previous game where you just hide, sneak, run, jump and stuff like that. Battle these little enemies there. Not what I was looking for in this game series, but hey, it works, and it's not... Well, no, when I figure out everything there, it's okay, but... I'm wondering if we are close to the end of the demo here. It feels like we have had a good chunk of the... A good chunk for demos. I feel it should probably be coming up the end. But I do definitely like that, you know... that I can turn down the bloom here and the depth of field. I would like, again, I would love to be able to just fully turn it off. I feel like this might be maybe close to the end here. Knows? Maybe not. Okay. We are progressing. Oh, okay, I had to hide. A little bit of a trial and error. Okay, see, I could see that my GPU did spike up all the way to 70% in that thing. It might have been the ray tracing with all of the light there, maybe causing that extra GPU spike. Creepy song in the background. Right? Oh. Yeah, a little bit of a trial and error, I guess. Right, we are up to 1 hour mark here in the Let's Try. That's a good chunk for a demo, because I think 1 hour, you know, first hour of a game should capture you and want to play more, and this is doing a pretty good job. I preferred the solo ones a little bit more, but I can definitely see that some are gonna, you know, just love this kind of co-op experience more. These are giving me a good taste, you know, for the games. They add a little bit of the extra with the tools, how to use the wrench in like a combat kind of thing, and with interaction with little stuff, and we get to try the umbrella mechanic, so it's a great chunk. But I'm thinking it probably should be ending pretty soon. But I might be stopping anytime right now, just because I think 1 hour is a good like let's try thing. Oh, so my... Ooh. Damn, that's a nightmare. End of the demo. Oh, you wake up from the nightmare. Oh. Like in this very weird little room or cell, almost. Okay. Right, yeah, okay, okay, good, good. This is the end of the demo. Yep. So there you have it, Little Nightmares 3 coming out, I think it was like the 10th of October 2025. 40 euros for the base edition here. You have the deluxe edition for 60 euros. And it's nothing bad here. This is what it is, right? You like it or you don't like it. Like the performance is, I feel, is solid, right? Because I'm running on ultra settings on an 5070 GPU RTX 5070. That is like, you know, I think it's a mid-top tier GPU at the moment, but it's nothing super crazy or anything like that. But it's still on the, you know, a little bit maybe above the medium tier that might be more of the 5060 Ti. I'm running this in 1440p, 120 Hz, everything on ultra. I did use DLSS with the, you know, the ultra quality for anti-aliasing, or if that affects DLSS, who knows. That's the only thing that might need tweaking. I miss since I like to go into the settings, I miss having that kind of DLSS settings for ultra performance, DLSS balance and quality, and DLA options. I'm more familiar with those, and to have like a separate options for frame gen on or off, like separated, but that's the only thing. Like, great input remapping ability, you know, select your Xbox, your PlayStation buttons, your keyboard button, mix and match with keyboard and mouse, gamepad, whatever you want to do, like remap fully. So far it seems like almost like a full remapping support for the gamepad. We have settings for, you know, ray tracing on, off. We have a little bit of settings for shadows, textures, and everything like that. And the ray tracing here, I don't know in which way it uses it, if it's using for only light, if it's only for shadows or whatever, but there's no like distracting shimmering or weird noise going on there. It's just a solid experience. You know, again, you could nitpick. Like, my personal preference is that this kind of gray overlap over the screen, I would like that not to be a thing, and I would like more things to be anchored to black. That is just a personal opinion of artistic choice here. That's not the game being bad, it's an artistic choice. So, you know, you like something more or less. Like some, you know, like more chunky pixel style, and some just like more modern 3D model style of games. And it's just the gameplay have felt solid, nothing crazy. I wasn't a fan of like the combat room, but it didn't, when you know you figure it out, it's nothing that's just, it's just, yeah, it's not bad. It's just, again, it's a gameplay choice there. If the game would continue to have more and more stuff like that, yeah, it would be, you know, hey, this wasn't really what I am vibing with personally. And it seems to play pretty damn good with solo here, with an AI player, and if you play this with your friend, it's gonna be a really nice thing. Again, it could have been nice maybe to have like an open lobby, but I'm sure that is more difficult, and it could also, you know, it could be bad because you could get some player that you don't want to play with. And this is a game that you really want to play with someone that has the kind of same. You know how they play games. You can vibe and talk together. So, you know, I get that choice. I think it is a valid choice going for it. So it is just when it comes to a demo, and so far, what I've seen so far, everything is just a, you know, a 10 out of 10 when it comes to game here. I'm not vibing with everything, you know, again, with some of the gameplay or artistic choices, but it's not like super solid demo here. But yeah, since this is going to be, I feel you get the most, for me personally, I feel, with co-op, and you know, I'm mostly single player a person here, right? I would probably not be getting this, and again, I don't know how long this is, and it could maybe feel like it is a bit expensive for 40 euros. But if you're playing with a friend, because if I remember correctly, let me double check this real quickly for you guys. I think that you could, like, one of you could buy this one and the other one could play it for free? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I might be thinking of a different game, not this one. I don't know. Maybe both of you have to buy it. That's because again, if you could, like, if one of you could buy it and the other one could just play it, you know, get like the split faction, and what is it takes two, right? Then it would be that, hey, you want to play this game together? Oh yeah, we pay 20 euros each, we get a good experience, solid things, you know. Could add a little bit more to it. But yeah, hey, that you have to make that choice yourself. I couldn't find how it works online. Fortunately, I only have the, you know, download the demo button. So at this point in time, I'm gonna say that you both have to buy it for full price to play it, and you can then play it in single player or multiplayer. So yeah, it might be pushing for some people the 40 euros, depending on the length and everything, and if you want to play solo or not. It might be on the higher side, I could see that, but again, that's for you to decide. So check this one out. Hopefully the demo stays up after 10th of October when the game releases. Hopefully the game releases without any delays. And it was super fun, really great experience, and again, since I, you know, love using my Steam controller and I like to map mouse and keyboard and stuff like that, being a game that fully embraces keyboard and mouse and gamepad together with a great settings and workability just makes you extra happy. So thanks for that, developers, and you have, in my opinion, you have set the golden standard that gamers, the developers in future games should really look at you and say, this guy did this way, it works great, why are we not doing it? We need to also do input mapping like this, input for this could be this smooth and great, and this option. So yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like, comment, follow, check back to the channel, you know, if you don't want to miss me buying demos, games and video related stuff. And it might be a little bit of, I don't know how many of you followed me a few years back. There was a little bit of extra content it was a little bit of extra content gameplay wise that hasn't been on the channel for a couple of years, that I think might be returning in December or maybe January. So stay tuned for that. A little bit of a secret for you guys that watch till the end here. So yeah, there is a little bit of extra new content that hasn't been on the channel gameplay wise that will most likely return. Really looking forward to that. But December, January, we might start seeing that. So yeah, but thanks for watching. Have a great day and bye for this time. Now go and check this one out. This was a blast.